Some of their top players back, 4 changes in the team from last week when they drew against Inverness Kelly Thistle. The return of key men after injury and suspension. Skipper Stephen Presley, top scorer Rhys Gatchell, and Edgaras Jankowskis are all fit, and Julian Brellier is free of suspension. They replace Christophe Berra, Bruno Aguiar, Chris Hackett, and the very unlucky young striker Callum Elliott.
All 4 players right through the spine of the team. Hearts into that 4-4-2 situation. Presley and Webster teaming up again. Brellier and Hartley, very important pair. And the big, powerful pair up front of Bednar and Jankowskis.
And there's one significant change for Rangers. Out goes Chris Boyd, despite his 27 goals this season. 10 goals in 12 matches for Rangers. Back comes European hero Peter Lovenkrantz, looking to add to his 18-goal tally for the season. Ian Murray continues at left back with young Stephen Smith on the bench.
Rangers into a 4-4-1-1. That's what we think they'll do, but it's a pretty flexible lineup they've got through the middle of the park. But Buffeld and Lovenkrantz, we saw them two come together earlier on in the season. Lots of creation from Buffeld, lots of pace through the middle, and I think that will be vitally important today for Rangers.
Well, unusually too, the Hearts bench is very powerful too. Normally the Old Firm have a much stronger bench, but Hearts really have a very powerful squad, and they can bring on some very talented players from that number of 7 players on the bench. Rangers too also have a lot of power in that area, with Chris Boyd obviously the big threat to come on during the match. Well, Stephen Presley started his career as a Rangers player, a spell at Coventry City, then came back to Dundee United, then to Hearts, where he really has established himself as an international player with 28 caps. Paul Hartley going through there too, another player who's made his way into the international scene for Scotland, along with Andy Webster right behind him. A lot of people think the man in front, Robbie Nielsen's a bit unlucky not yet to have featured. So it really is a powerful Hearts lineup. The Rangers too coming here with lots of expectation. 5 games without defeat, including 2 against Villarreal in the Champions League. They're led out by referee Craig Thompson. Rangers playing in their all-blue strip. So that makes life easier for those watching in black and white, if there are any of these still left.
Yeah, key man, that man there, Brellier, 24 years old, joined from Inter Milan, lots of experience even though he's 24. Lets the players play around him, the best pals of 2 centre-halves, and another great pal in Paul Hartley. He's the man that just sits there and destroys.
And for Rangers, Thomas Buffeld is the player who makes tactical preparation with the opposition very difficult. He can operate wide on either flank or off the front man or in central midfield. All his 6 goals for Rangers this season, being that Ibrox never scored for the club outside Glasgow. He scored once at Hampden in the Cup. The man in charge is Craig Thompson, his 33rd game of the season. He's issued 8 red cards this season, including Kyriakos at East End Park on Boxing Day, and Bednar for diving in a cup tie against Partick Thistle. Alec McLeish expressing appreciation to the huge contingent of Rangers supporters travelling here to occupy the Roseburn stand to our left. So there will be 1 minute's applause for Jimmy Johnston, who died last week. He was absolutely unstoppable at his best. So the Hearts huddle pre-match, and discussions going on there, exhorting each other to a supreme effort. They need that today. They beat Rangers in September by 1-0 when Roman Bednar scored the only goal of the match, then lost by 1-0 at Ibrox. So this is a key match in the SPL for this season. A terrific atmosphere inside the stadium. So the men over the ball are Jankowskis and Brellier, and Hearts get us underway. And the opening exchanges will, of course, be very important in establishing just how the teams will settle. The pattern volley ball. That's Kyriakos for the clearance. I can confirm Dado Purcell has started the match wide on the left-hand side for Rangers. Lovenkrands straight through the middle, and Bofal off him. Caption with pre-match is absolutely on the ball. And here's Takis Fisas with a long throw opportunity for Hearts. Misjudged there by Rodriguez, had to be won by Murray. Scrambled out there by Rodriguez in the end. This is where Bofal can be so dangerous on the counter. Picking up these spaces. Chris Burke on the right-hand side. It's a great counter-attack by Rangers. And the corner kick's been earned thanks to that excellent tackle from Stephen Presley.
And that's what Hearts have got to be careful of. Thomas Buffel will just sit in a space where it can pick the ball up all the time and make that counter-attack. And that's the first warning that Hearts, the Rangers back to, got it right that time. We've criticised them many, many times before of not having a communication, but stepped up at the right time there.
Waterous of the clearance, that's Webster. Well, the time to control that had he chosen to do so.
I think that just shows you the amount of pace that the game's being played at, Jock. There's not a lot of time in that midfield area. Balls are just being helped on. In the first 20 minutes or so, till the pace of the game drops, and people will start to get themselves on the ball. The key people in there, and Barry Ferguson's.
Interesting setup by Rangers, isn't it, Mark, with Peter Lovenkrands preferred to play right through the middle there, to use his pace against Presley and Webster, supported by the craft of Buffer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the way that Alex looks at this game. Big, two strong, powerful centre-halves. Dado Purcell would be wrestling up against them too, not the quickest, so that neutralises itself out. Lovenkrands blistering pace, and if that's a weakness through the Hearts side, that is it.
Oh, good play by Chesnauskas. Here's Hartley with a chance. Jankauskas, Hearts have the lead. Terrific play by Hearts. Edgaras Jankauskas.
Super play that. I'm just saying, the ball was helped on very, very quickly. That man is delighted. It's been end-to-end stuff. Delighted. The ball was pulled back. Great play here. Trickery. And that was the ball, the Hartley ball. We've said that man will get forward, he'll get into the box. That's where he is a danger. Nobody picking him up. Thank you very much. Centre forwards like them, straightforward side foot.
His 9th goal of the season, and such an important one, potentially. Well, what a great piece of play that was, the 100th Premier goal against Rangers. I have to tell you that Rangers have scored many, many more than that against them.
Exploited through the middle. We've said it before this season about the Rangers too. We're just giving credit before. There's 2 or 3 players running into the box. And it could have been a number of players that could have got on the end of that ball.
Murray now to Purcell. Well, there's one interesting point there. When Tom playing, he wasn't happy at all. He seemed to be eased off the ball as he chased it. A long throw from Nielsen. And a bit of acrobatics there from Jankauskas. It came off Rodriguez. He's not happy.
That's what Jankauskas adds to the Hearts side. Big physical presence will be up. Does what John Hartson does for Celtic, gets in amongst the centre halves. Constant nuisance.
Only one Rangers player out for the 2 men at the corner. They'll take a short one. It's only 2 against 1. That's terrible defending by Rangers. And very good goalkeeping by Waterous. Covered the near in the signed shirt from that man of the match. Waterous with the clearance. And also Rodriguez. Rangers looking less than convincing when they're put under pressure by this Hearts attack. Here's Chesnauskas. Turned behind by Murray for a corner. It's good play from Hearts.
Super play again from Hearts, but they're not hanging around. Ball's going straight into the box. There have been shots, early delivery, and the defenders can't get set. It's a good approach that Hearts have got. Playing at a high tempo game when they're going forward.
There have been instructions from Graham Ricks to his midfield pairing, by the way, during that little delay before the corner kick. Hartley went across to give instructions along with Brellier. Such key players they are for Hearts. That's a giveaway there by Nielsen. What was that all about? Ferguson now trying to take advantage. Here's Buffal. Buffal's pass, a good one for Ferguson. Cover provided by Hartley. Well, that was what Graham Rix was suggesting, that Hartley shouldn't be charging forward just too often at this stage of the match, especially with a one-goal lead. Here's Burke. He's done well to pull it across. Brellier losing there to Lovenkrantz. It had to be saved by Craig.
It's called defending, Joe. Well, that's what it's called. Strikers get criticism for not coming back. He's allowed to stand anywhere on that white line.
Very good challenge by Rodriguez on Jankauskas, and Jankauskas is hurt from that challenge. But it was a wonderful throw, and Jankauskas on the point of volleying that home when Rodriguez arrived.
That's why Purser is that close to the throw to try and stop that sort of missile that's thrown in there. That's a great block from Rodriguez. It's a sore one, top of the foot.
A little nudge again by Lovenkrantz. His frustration really is becoming more apparent. He's had no service of any kind at all, and when he does get near the ball, he's using anything he can do to get on the ball.
It's good play from Stephen Purser, just getting his body between the ball and the player. It's frustrating for him. So he's all about needing that service. Up against Presley and Webster. And balls, high balls. There's only going to be one winner there.
It's well won by Money. Nielsen returns it. There's Kyriakos. Strong play by Ferguson, met by Brellier with a foot up though. Dangerous play is the indication. The studs were showing.
There's two sets of feet up there though. Brellier is the man.
Buffel to the left and Purcell through the middle beside Lovenkrantz to try and change their fortune in attack. So the effect that they have. Hartley and Kyriakos square up again. Well, I sympathise with Hartley because Kyriakos tried to stop the quick free kick. Hartley took exception to that. I think he's entitled to do that. So there's the free kick given. Misjudged in the area by Presley. He's run forward to no avail this time.
He's coming in.
Good clearance by Gordon. Rodriguez heading that down as far as Scatchell. Opportunity on the right for Chesnauskas. Beaten away well by Vaterus and helped in its way by Rodriguez to Ferguson, who survives a handball claim. There's Buffal. Eased off the ball by Stephen Presley. Free kick to ring. Here's Chesnauskas. He was caught from behind by Buffal. Free kick to Hearts, and a real threat from these set pieces because Jankauskas is 6'4", Bednar 6'3", and then there's Presley and Webster.
And a great delivery in Scatchell. Man, he's putting the ball down. The big guns are coming up now. We've got 4 players, 6 foot plus. It's going to be a handful. And this sort of delivery, you've got Hartley and Scatchell out there. Now, Scatchell, I think, will be the man to fire this into the 6-yard box.
Scatchell it is. It's awkward for Rodriguez. Vaterus makes the punch away from Webster. And still Purcell trying to play it forward for Burke. Covering player is Pisas. Well, pressure again in the Rangers defence. They were really working hard to cope. The set piece started it all off. Here's Alan Hutton. Also getting that back from Webster. Needed intervention there, or intervention by Hartley. Bednar helps it on. Hearts determined to go in half-time with this lead. That's given away very casually by Chesnauskas. Well, Purcell did well that time, getting up ahead of Presley. Not the best of clearances by Nielsen. Scatchell playing it into a danger area. The flag is up against Bednar, and correctly so, I think. Well, what do you make of the
Clearly offside.
The balance of play so far, Mark, in the first half?
I think it's been pretty scrappy all round. I think Hearts have made the most of the chance that they got early doors, put it in the back of the net. I think Rangers have failed to create largely over the period. I think they'll be disappointed in his first half performance.
Well, the man who scored the goal was Garis Jankauskas, a very fine finish after a delivery from the right by Paul Hartley. It really was excellent finishing. Hartley breaking into that space to take Chesnowski's pass, and the finish by Jankauskas was deadly, and that's what's made all the difference in the match. It was the best incident of the match, really. There's still a lot of trouble among the players. There's no question the atmosphere is torrid at the moment, and the referee Craig Thompson is going to have a very difficult second half. I suspect they'll be happy to get the players off at this stage to calm down a little. But there is the departing players at the end of a very competitive first half. Garis Jankauskas scored in 10 minutes. The half-time score, Hearts 1, Rangers 0. Football involved than there was in the first half, and that's the Cato fouling situation dominating rather than the flowing football we'd like to see. And I wonder what tactical alterations will be made. No change in either line-up for the second half at this stage. Obviously, changes will happen if the second half goes on. But the referee, Craig Thompson, is now apparently satisfied that the second half can start. And it's Rangers who get us away. Hamdani's first touch. Hamdani, incidentally, his 16th match for Rangers. He's only been the winning side 4 times out of the previous 15. Remarkable record, that. So, for Rangers, tough task. They really have to hit back very smartly here if they're going to win all 3 points. And 6-point gap at the moment between the two teams. Could go to 9. I don't think that would be retrievable, Mark, would it?
Well, I think it'll be very, very difficult for Rangers to claw 9 points back. That's why it's vitally important, as we said before the game, that Hearts take nothing less than 3 points from this game if they want to remain in that Champions League place at the end of the season.
Well, wrestling match going on again, just so typical of the match so far. Kyriakos and Jankauskas. Free kick goes to Hearts.
Jankauskas, as we've seen him all season, puts his body in the line all the time. Defends the ball at all costs. It's a good free kick.
I think Graham Ricks must have read how this game would run, because I must say I felt some sympathy with Callum Elliott not being in the starting lineup today, but Jankauskas and Bednar really have been a threat to Rangers, and they've coped physically very well indeed. Here's Bednar. Good early ball across. Support arriving much too late. Scatchell couldn't keep that in play, but very good play by Roman Bednar.
Getting in behind Murray there, and a super delivery across. A lot of pace on the ball. Gordon taking no chances there.
Well, Paul Hartley playing with boundless energy in the match. Well, he keeps his temperament under control. He'll be a major influence in this game.
Not much hope there for the goalkeeper. That man will always chase everything down. Bags of energy.
Rodriguez with a header clear. This is Brellier across to Pisas. Now Scatchell. The offside flag is up. Stephen Puller on the near side, the assistant, with the flag up. And we'll see if he was right or wrong. He's absolutely right.
2 players offside there. He's spot on. Top marks for the linesman.
And goes Presley. We're still not seeing the real quality football as yet, but here's Scatchell in a good position. Scatchell held up brilliantly by Hutton. Excellent defending by the young Rangers defender. Another tactical alteration made by Rangers. Lovenkrands has started the second half wide on the left-hand side. Purser through the middle with Buffel playing off him. Well, Murray, I think, is very...
First one he had was too far out, but this is within his range.
Will the wall retreat? They don't want to. Brellier wants to debate. And if he didn't get his 10 yards, and it's not 10 yards. The breaks there for Buffel! Wonderful save by Gordon! That could goalkeeper.
What a save that was. Blocked in the wall initially. First touch, good shot. But what a reaction save that is. Craig Gordon not had a lot to do this afternoon. And that is super. The referee will only let it go so far before he pulls the captains together.
Well, Craig Gordon has had a stern word from referee Craig Thompson about time wasting. Rodriguez in trouble against Jankowskis. This is Hartley. Česnauskas. Well, determined work by Česnauskas. Applauded by Graham Rix for his determination more than anything there.
Yeah, showing great strength. Just looking out here on the right hand side. They seems to have got a lot of space during this game. Just not enough space.
Number of fouls committed. Approaching the hour mark now, and Hearts looking really strong in the lead here. Next to Craig Gordon's wonderful save, and that's stabbed wide by Jankowskis.
It was an interception, sorry. Had to be made. It's a lovely little ball. Knocked in there, and it was sitting up and begged to be smacked on target.
All he likes to see. Played forward by Hartley. Bednar with Rodriguez. And it's Bednar who's penalised. Well, Roman Bednar's not Craig Thompson's favourite player, I don't think.
Yeah, I think 6 of one, half a dozen of their players just coming across each other there. As we'll see again, ruling in favour of defenders. I think there's hardly anything in that at all. I think Bednar's trying to get away from
I must confess,
Rodriguez.
I don't quite understand why Bednar's been penalised there.
They're just
trying
to get the ball that's going over the top. Time and time again. Defenders there. Caught him on the heels.
A lecture given for the 6th foul he's committed. Purcell got a touch. Here's Boyd. A little wide for Purcell. Now Burke. That's for Buffett. Equaliser for Rangers.
Well, we've seen that combination in the first half, just didn't come off, and that combination again has got Rangers back into this game. Couldn't see it coming. Been very scrappy, very few chances. Chris Burke just getting himself that yard of space, and Thomas Buffett this time getting right on the end of that ball. It's a super ball. Craig Gordon nothing with that whatsoever. It's the ball that makes the goal, and it's Rangers back.
Hartley with the corner kick for Hearts. Good challenge made by Presley. Well, Ian Murray stuck to his task to make life difficult for him. Yeah, that was important.
Yeah, he knows how important that was, Ian Murray. It's a great chance for Stephen Presley. 7 goals to his name this season.
Turning into trouble in the form of Brellier. Stopped very quickly. Here's Česnauskas. Enjoy the feeling. Next goal's the winner, you would think. Here's Česnauskas trying. Now it's Pisas lofting it towards Skatchel. Holding off Hutton. Hutton won't be denied.
Good play from the young defender there. Skatchel. He's seen his upper body strength before. Shielding the ball.
Pisas with a long throw. Noble playing it wide, but there's no one in that area of the field for Rangers. Chris Boyd is hirpling about a little bit. He's taking the knock also. With plenty of players getting some bumps and bruises after this match. So here's Skatchel. Hutton not diving in, but here comes the cross though, and Jankowskis was close to the mark by Kyriakos. This Fergus appears to have made a full recovery from that jarred knee. Hemdani takes possession. It's Hutton. Webster gives it away straight to Hemdani. That's for Boyd. Another heavy challenge. Pisas with a long ball forward. Awkward there for Rodriguez. Under pressure from Elliott. turned the corner into a throw with an acrobatic clearance. A long throw opportunity again for Pisas. Here's Elliott, back to Pisas. Elliott's cross, headed away strongly there. Return by Nielsen! Fine effort by Robbie Nielsen. Fantastic. He's not a goal scorer by nature.
Fantastic strike. Batteris beat all hands down there. And that's underneath the ball. I think that's in. It's a good defensive header, plenty of distance. And that's sent back with plenty of return on it. Dipping all the time.
Well, his last goal was in March a year ago against Livingston.
Yeah,
none this season, but that was very close. Such a long drought. Robbie Nielsen now, route one being preferred by Hearts in the late stages. Jankauskas the target, winning that from Rodriguez. Kyriakos standing firm. Pisas comes forward. Hearts still looking for this winning goal. Here's Chesnauskas. Held up well by Burke. Pisas with a cross. That was Murray. It's Nielsen. Now Boyd. Boyd did well to get that wide for Marchanovo. Accidental handball. Really strength amazing there, holding off Boyd. Shrugging him off. This is Jankauskas. That's good play by Jankauskas. Oh, that's just too long, that cutback. Here's Mikael Yunus. Poor ball there by Mikael Yunus. Buffal does well twice. Leads the counter-attack for Rangers. Well, that's just a blatant body check by Bellier. Rangers captain Barry Ferguson with the throw. Here's Novo. Still Novo. Eased across there by Presley. This is Burke against Chesnauskas. That's determined work by Chesnauskas. He really has grown in stature this season for Hearts. Flick on there by Elliott, finds Jankauskas. Break of the ball is kind for Hearts. This is Chesnauskas. Now Elliott. Hartley waits in the middle. Mikael Yunus also arriving. Well, going down by installments here, Callum Elliott, but there's no free kick, no penalty. And Danny brings the ball clear. Novo comes short. Bit of handball there to win possession, but it was accidental, I think. Good running by Novo. He's earned the throw. Some determination shown there. Injection of energy. The Rangers up front. Here he goes again. Novo trying to hit the byline, get a cross in. Turned away there by Webster. Throw in is given. Checking the watch. Well, she wants a victory, not a draw. Pisas, the player who has gone down there. He's checking there on Novo. I don't know what he's checking though. No, there's some displeasure there. An allegation of spitting, is it? Pisas has become very irate. Kyriakos, his former teammate at Panathinaikos, goes to try and calm him down. Well, not sure what that's about, but Pisas is irate. And Novo was the man who upset him. Throw from Ferguson. Caught very well there by Gordon, despite a bit of pushing and barging inside the area. Well, that should be the end of the match now. I'm sure the kick-out will bring it all to an end. It's been a bit untidy, unseemly. It has not been a real credit to the game in this country, but it's been massively competitive and fascinating all the way through. It is indeed the final whistle, and I think over the piece mark it draws them out right.
I think so. I think first half, I think Hearts did enough to get themselves in. I think second half, I think they fell off the pace. I think the energy, they run out of the energy, and Rangers came into the game, got the chance, took the chance. I think all in all, 1-1, fair result.
So the players depart, the goals were scored, one very early on, Paul Hartley setting up Edgaras Jankauskas in 10 minutes, and then right out of the blue the second half, when Rangers didn't look to be a threat at all, Chris Burke set up Thomas Buffal for that equaliser in 65 minutes. There were precious few chances in the match, lots of niggly fouls and bad temper. Julian Brilli was outstanding in defensive role. The final score at Tynecastle, Hearts 1, Rangers 1.